Hello and welcome to Arena 51 Gaming. My name is Hella. I'm joined to you today with Dan, who's going to be doing all the production work for us today. And we have a scrim for you. And yes, it is GOATs. Yet again, we're going to see GOATs coming in on SCRIM Night. We see in preparation for that Overwatch GOATs tournament that A51 is hosting this weekend. And Foxes from the Abyss, the A51 team you're used to seeing on a Friday night, and they are going to be up against a new team to the channel. Team Aquisition. Beautiful sounding name. Their logo is I'm not entirely sure how that ties into Team Aquisition, but nonetheless, I will say acquisition a few times, and that way I might remember. And I'll abbreviate Foxes to Foxes. Foxes from the Abyss to Foxes for ease of casting, but just so you know what I'm talking about. Looks like our first map going in here is going to be Busan, and our very first map just getting underway very shortly, and gonna be exciting to see what variation of GOATs that these two teams go with. Obviously, they can use Winston, Ryan on the tank line. They've got an option of Zen or Anna on the flex support. I mean, other than that, there's not really much option in GOATs that we've got set up at the moment. However, nonetheless, teams will have their own ways of playing it. Do expect a lot of visual clutter. This is going back to when ultimates charged faster, and obviously the massive sustain available to both teams means that a lot more damage is done during fights, and ults are charged even faster. Looks like we are going to see the mirror composition, both teams electing for the Zen Reinhardt variation of GOATs, and this is proven to be the strongest variation of GOATs in the current meta. We've got Team Acquisition coming in. They're going to be getting onto point first here, getting a lot of damage in from that Zenyatta, pumping it in from the background. Those Discord orbs are going to be crucial to fight wins, and it is going to be Frog who gets that first pick, and following up with the rest of the team coming in nice and strong. Nice charge comes through as well to follow things up, and that's exactly what you want from your main tank in that first fight. Look at the ult differential there between the two Reinhardts, as Frog already up to that amazing Earth Shatter ability, and let's just see if they can land a strong one. On the flip side, Melody going to have that rally coming into this fight, but I don't think it's going to be enough to be able to counter the Shatter, so it's all eyes on Raw to see if the Shatter can be blocked. No, it can't. It's a huge Shatter coming in from the left-hand side by Frog, and that is going to be a solid second fight win here for Team Acquisition. On they go now, 33%. What are Foxes going to do in order to flip this over? Get an advantage back on the clock? I don't know. We'll find out soon enough, as Raw coming in. Going to take control of point. Going to create some space. They've got to fight through with this rally. Melody as well with their rally used in last fight. Bomb comes out. Doesn't find anyone though. Trans used by both. By Lagoon. Doesn't last long though. Goes down straight away. It's going to be Foxes that take this fight and are finally going to get a flip on the point. A lot of ults used in that fight from both teams, but it is actually Foxes that come out with the ultimate economy advantage. They did use that grab in that last fight though, and that will, kind of is a crucial ultimate when it comes to GOATs. and see if Boris can find any value with that. Is the shatter bomb combination coming through. Unable to connect with anyone, but that doesn't matter because Raw is going to find a beautiful fire strike that's going to take down, but Raw falls as well. Here we go. Diva happy to back out. Melody on the brig. So much sustain, so much power in that Brigitte. Is going to be able to keep the rest of the team alive here. And you can't really play without your main tank. It is very difficult to play and win a goats fight without your main tank. So both teams trying to focus, keeping their tanks alive. Frogs is getting already up to another Earth Shatter. Gonna have to back out a little bit though, as Nachti getting a huge amount of charge and damage in from this left-hand side, but is it going to be enough? Bomb comes out from Fatty Fish, but it's not going to be enough to find a kill. Grav is blocked by the Transcendence, and it is going to be Foxes that finally get the fight win down. They finally lock down that point, you know, those long fights, you want those long fights if you are the defending team. You do not want to have long fights if you are the attacking team. You'd rather a quick fight that you lose than a long fight that you lose, 100% as the attacking team. Now they've only got one more attack to go in here, Team Acquisition, and they are going to come in from the shrine on the right-hand side. In the high room, there's the shatter coming in from Raw. It's a massive shatter, the pin to follow things up, and that's going to get a D-Mech, and just like that, Foxes flip the map in their favor, going from 0 all the way up to 100% without losing the point. Obviously, this is not a scrim. Well, it is a scrim, but it's not the normal scrim preset. So this could be match point here, and we might not see Mecha base, which it's interestingly is a lovely goats point on Busan. Yeah, we're gonna see downtown, and we're gonna see if which teams are gonna just go straight to point. If either team is gonna play for some nice rotations as well. You've seen a lot of that from the previous goats games recently, that some teams opt to just beeline straight for point, while others play for these high ground advantages and strategic rotations. And there you go. You can see it here in this fight as Team Acquisition do take that rotation. But because Foxes have gone straight to point, they're going to have to play themselves onto this point. And Foxes have got this locked down. Nachi on the right-hand side is just getting loads of damage, but it's picked off beautifully. And it is now a pretty even fight here. But the fact that Frogs is still up, it's going to be a huge advantage for the team in blue. But, you know, with an early trans coming in from Foxes from Abyss, and it is going to be a very scrappy fight, this one, as players start going down. But it does look Foxes are finally going to get the final kill there and unlock the first capture of the round. And going to move up and try and take a bit more of this chokehold. They've got a Grav coming online. They've got Shatter. They're going to have to watch for Raw Shatter here, though. Team Acquisition as they come onto point. And they'll be playing into a rally here. Nice rally. Oh, and that's a beautiful flank Shatter coming in from Frog Slaughtery. And Grav comes in on the other side here, but there's no value to follow up. Boris did a great job landing quite a few members, but they were all sustained beautifully well by the rally. And speaking of rally, Melody going to unlock theirs and again find themselves inside a Grav, but Flog Sortery does find the beautiful shatter through, but unfortunately it is Raw who gets the better of the shatters. As teams start to set themselves up ready for this next fight. Team Acquisition, they haven't won a fight since the very first fight of the first point here. They need to find a little bit of rhythm as they make their way around to the left-hand side. Going to come try and drop down on this high ground. They really need to get Boris's charge up nice and high to get the value in there. That's where your damage is coming from, alongside Lagoon on the Zen. But they have another reason to have Zen is that Transcendence. Here it comes as they push onto point using that extra health and make their way around. But the slam comes in for Raw, but it doesn't able to find anything. The grab though from Nachti is absolutely massive, and that is going to be the point locked down. Frog just happened to just saw through it, absolutely saw through it. The grab getting so much cleave damage, and that is the power of grab. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of grab shatter combinations, which would normally be a really poor combination, but with the shatter damage added in to this goat's variation, it does mean you can get a lot of kills with it. And it is going to be Foxes that push onto the point. Nachti gets the corner locked down, and Quag is going to seal things up with the bomb there, and it is looking like Foxes are going to clean up. Second point on Busan. Going to be try and touch on the Lucio, but it's not going to be possible. And a really well played by Foxes in that training match.
Play of the game.
Started slow, but Sightlighter doing very well with his trans. Actually, beautiful trans that allowed Foxes the chance to land that beautiful slam and win another fight there. Beautifully played by them both. Anyways, we're looking to be going straight into the next map. Keep things flowing, so you don't have to hear my droning voice too much. Obviously, I'm grateful that I'm here with Dan. However, I definitely find it a bit tricky to fill the gaps so much with the talking, especially as my my Overwatch knowledge is lacking a little bit. Alright, got a 3 minute wait here while players hydrate. I mean, luckily for me, I've hydrated plenty in the last sort of 20 minutes. In fact, I might be asking for a bathroom break at some point, but not for the time being anyways. Anyway, what are we looking forward to? Put in chat, what maps are you looking forward to these teams playing on? We're going to go to hybrid next. We've seen Hollywood, we've seen the King's Row, obviously. Eichenwalder is in the map pool as well. Which are you most looking forward to seeing? And I don't want to see absolute spams of Scrims Row in chat. Something a little bit more upbeat or a different variation would be nice. Anyways, speaking of hybrid, first opportunity to see how these juggernauts of teams will play in a mobile situation, obviously pushing that payload, and obviously it gives the defending team a chance to get set up nicely, and the attacking team to experiment with some nice rotations on these points. With Brawl and especially with Goats, of course, your rotations and your positioning is far more, as long as you're in the hitbox of your Rhine, you're doing pretty good. We saw a couple of times with both teams where one player is not with the core of the team and gets picked off, and that's how a fight is won. But we have a little bit of synergy to build up on, because that's not a play style that you're used to seeing too much. I mean, even in the traditional rush comps in the 2-2-2 era, you still have a little bit of moving about for some of the heroes, a lot more than you would do with Goats. Even your heroes like your Ranas and your Zens need to stay in the core team to stay protected, because if they're not, then they're in trouble. I mean, sometimes they can play a bit further back, but just got to make sure. Just got to make sure.
Traveling to Eichenwalder.
going into Eichenwald. It is Eichenwald that has been selected, everybody. For those of you that suggested Eichenwald, congratulations. Looking forward to it. Obviously, not going to see any May walls over the top or anything because, well, it's goats. There's no Mays, no Sims either. It's all raw tank and support power. And I've got to say, we're getting a display of the tank and support power coming through in this composition from these teams so far. Yeah, I would be interested to know whether these teams have their regular DPS players playing on obviously the third tank and the third support role, and which they would be playing. Does look like we might see a little bit of variation coming through as Lagoon starting on the Ana, which, let's be real, it was said on Wednesday when I was casting on Wednesday, and I'm going to remind our beautiful viewers that we're going to really focus on the anti-nades Lagoon. That is where the real power in the Ana comes from. Obviously the Nano is absolutely insane, but in terms of the difference between trans and Nano, you're going to want the trans more than the Nano in goats in particular. It looks like they've changed their mind here. They've dropped off the top here as Frog needs to hold up this high ground, but a nice boot off of the top from Quag, and we've seen some beautiful D.Va play from them. And again, here we go, they're going to bash into them at full force here, but it does look like they're going to have to back out our acquisition as they find themselves losing too many members too early on. Almost a bit passive, really, in that fight. They were a bit afraid to go in aggressive. They were trying to make sure they didn't lose a member because obviously the spawn advantage. However, that ended up costing them a couple of players, and once you're down 1 or 2 players in goats, it's very difficult to maintain the sustain and the health pool. That kind of just got a little bit out of position as well. Looks like Acquisition are going to play for the high ground. They like their positioning here. We've seen Foxes just play objective, and that's all they've really done. But they've now forced Foxes to chase them off the high ground. The slam comes down, but it doesn't find anything. But the counter shutter is absolutely massive coming in from Frog, and that is going to be a cleanup now for Acquisition. And all this time though, Payload is moving forward as Quag sitting pretty on Payload, getting that round that corner. That could prove very valuable to Foxes as they look to kind of complete the second point. It's going to come through here. It's going to be difficult, but not as difficult versus the spam comp to get out of this door. Really, the only poke damage you're going to get is that Zen, and you're going to be able to get moving on Banshee. I take that back. There is no Zen. There's very little poke coming through. There is a huge grab coming in from both teams, simul grab, and dying everything. We've had B, we've had Bomb, we've had rallies coming in from both teams. We've got shatters online for both Rhines, but Raw is the only one left living to be able to use it. And a very expensive fight for both teams, but it is going to be Foxes that come out on top. And they forced ultimates out of their opponents. So, you know, even though it was an expensive fight to win, because they forced the ults out of their opponents, they're still going to be pretty happy with the ultimate economy at the moment. Nachty getting so much value, and that is a big shatter coming in from the left-hand side. From Frog, and Raw going to get a counter shatter of their own off, but so far it's pretty even Stevens in this fight. No one has gone down here, but there's a huge boot. Nero, absolutely massive. Oh my god, the charge going straight through the middle, and it's going to find that D.Va mech, but going to trade off their life for it. Shield bash into the void by Melody. Oh my god, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it does look like yeah, we're going to be seeing Foxes try and take this high ground again. The early grab coming through, and that's going to be a lot of value coming in. Boris in a beautiful position to get that off without it getting blocked by that defense matrix. And now there's just a Zen left, isolated. But Zen actually managed to get out. Really good job from Sightlighter there, trying to get out of that successfully. Not the stairs. There's a massive grab. The slam comes down as well, and it is going to be a cleanup from Foxes here. They weren't hanging about. They got the combo off. They got the value down, and now they're going to get this car all the way up to the door. I don't think Team Aquisition are going to be able to come out and contest this. They're going to give it a good go though, and Fighter actually getting a little bit greedy there. They are going to get the car through though. Fatty Fish not able to get out of that left-hand side door and touch in time. They're still going to fight this though. They're going to let that point go, but they're going to fight this regardless. And that's a huge pin coming in from Raw. And with the spawn advantage, even though Nero again with another huge boot. I think this is why they're playing for this point, because if you've got a hero like, you know, the Lucio, played by a player as good as Nero at getting those boots, you might want to play in the where there's boots available as much as you possibly can. Going to be early rally coming in from both teams here, and the aggression coming in strong from both teams. But it is Boris this time. They're getting the first pick of the fight, and Foxes are just going to back out. And there you go. That is a trans that you don't want to see, and that's just to save your Zen's life. Getting a little bit aggressive there. And again, a bomb to just get the remake in. There comes the slam, but it's not going to be much value. And actually, Foxes are really struggling in this fight. And Fatty Fish eating the grab as well. And that is so many ultimates wasted by Foxes in that fight. And they got nothing to show for. All that Acquisition actually needed to use in that fight was the trans. So they're going to come in line with the bid. They've got the shatter coming up soon as well. Rally's going to be not far off. They're going to use the beat aggressively. There comes the slam though. And does find a few on the floor. Boris getting that first pick, and Frog kind of get out here, but actually finds themselves with a face full of beam from Nachty. And that is going to be a grab from coming through from Nashty. Actually, but a grab coming in from Boris, going to grab the whole team on the car, stop them from moving, and the cleanup is going to come through. Beautiful. And now we find ourselves in a bit of a pause here as they wait to come through. And no, the shatter from the top ropes from Raw. Absolutely beautiful positioning there. Caught them off guard, but unfortunately they weren't able to get anything off. There comes the grab, and again it's going to be blocked off nicely. Sightlighter does deal with Nero, who is in the backline harassing that Zen. Bomb comes through from Fatty Fish. That's going to take down Nachty, and that's going to be a huge slam coming through from. And they're going to get themselves moving and get them running for the hills. And we're not going to see any staggers coming through onto Quag there.
30 seconds remaining.
Here we go again. Final sort of fight territory coming online here for Foxes. They had a really promising start, but I really find it difficult to push through second and third point. The judge comes through trying to deny the block from the bomb, but is unable to find anything with it. Roth is going to get the slam on the floor, going to take down Melody with it. Out comes the trans, and there's not going to be any value really coming through. Zen does get taken down, and it's basically just stall time for Team Aquisition. They're throwing everything onto this point. They've got very little to use. They have the beat. They are going to get the beat off. And that's going to give them sustain. To get the rally off as well. Both teams using their rallies in this fight. And it could be sustained, but no. Foxes are finally going to clean things up. With Fatty Fish too far away from point to touch, and even if they were going to get absolutely melted in less than a second.
To 3. Switching sides.
We find ourselves going through to Fox's
Initiating
defense and Team Acquisition's attack. Now, we saw Team Acquisition trying to use the terrain to their advantage a lot more than Fox's. And, you know, it really made it difficult for Fox's to sort of push through some of these choke points. However, I think Fox's team play and team coordination is better. Having said that, being able to group together a lot better, maybe apart from a couple of fights where maybe ults got wasted there, I think their ultimate usage is pretty decent as well. I do think Frog is getting the better shatters off, but Raw's getting a couple of their own as well. And yeah, I think we're going to be seeing, we're going to see Zen from both teams going into this attack. We've yet to see the Winston goats. It is an option, it is available, and I don't know if we're ever going to see that, especially for these more high groundy type maps, including Kings Row, I would have thought, and Hollywood. But no, anyways, looks like they're going to go out of right-hand side here, trying to take a sneaky rotation. And this is what I'm talking about. Team Acquisition, they like to use the map. They like to use unconventional rotations. They want to avoid the fight as long as possible. And then they're going to go straight in. They're not messing about. They're going up. Where are they going? They're going all the way around. I mean, it's not worked out for them, though, because Fox is using their superior coordination there. Managed to get a couple of picks and... To get a couple of picks in goats, they all come toppling down. It's like dominoes, especially if one of those dominoes, the kingpin, as it were, the Rhine, gets taken down. And Raw Famalam with the shatter ready, and it's going to come in from the right hand side. That's a big block actually coming through. They weren't able to follow up too much with that. Raw actually has to come back out and charges back in, gets separated. Somehow manages to get away with it though, as Quiet finds Frog. And now without the Rhine, there is nothing defending that team. And Boris making a valiant effort of it. Needs to get out to cave that charge, but it's not going to happen. And Nakti is going to have a beautiful grab ready for the next fight after a lot of damage towards the end. Team Acquisition, you know, they're getting stalled up here on this first point where Foxes one's quite handily on their attack and going to find a way through. Was it the shatter? No, it wasn't. Getting charged away from the fight is Frog, and that is going to be a free shatter coming in from Raw. And the trans comes through from Lagoon to try and keep everyone up, but it's just too little too late. The Rhine's gone down. You've got no damage in short range. And you're outmatched without your Rhine, 100%. And Frog is just not able to find the value that they did in the previous map. Especially on that first sort of point. Oh, boost that. Frog coming in, right hand side. Try and take some space. And Foxes are going to give it to him. And they're going to use the speed boost to their advantage. There is the bomb coming over the top. Grab comes down. There is nothing for it though. There's the counter grab. Frog has gone down already though, and that's too little too late. And again, another charge across the map from Raw Famalam, and proving that Caster's Curses is a thing, and really showing why Foxes are winning here. They got a really strong performance on that Rhine in this defense, and Frog is just really struggling to find the footing. And to do with the focus fire here, Boris trying to see if there's where that Rhine heart is. They know that they're not with the team, so they know that they were flanking Settering. Very smart scouting coming through, but it doesn't matter through them. The bomb gets shattered away, and there is a shatter from Frog, and that's what they needed. But they have to beat and a rally to fight through now. And they're going to have a trans to fight through as well. Fox has got all the sustain right here. Here comes the trans from Lagoon and Sight Lighter. So both teams have a lot of healing right now. But who's going to get the advantage? And it does look like it might be Foxes yet again. Even though a beautiful grab coming in from Boris, it's not going to be enough. And unfortunately, because it was the Asuna that gets taken down, they're going to get back quite quickly, so they're not going to have that advantage. And we see Raw with the flank shatter ready to go, and it's going to be another humongous flank shatter. You could see it a mile away, folks. Especially when that time bank is low. No one is thinking about the flank shatter right then and there, and that is going to be a match-winning shatter in the end. Beautiful play. Foxes really are taking this game to their opposition. They are not letting them build tempo, going straight to the opposing team with that aggression. They've got the beautiful use of the support ults when they know they need them. They hold on to them otherwise, and just an all-round pretty good display from Foxes there on Eichenwald. And it's going to be down to Acquisition to step up and see what they can do to sort of de-settle this Foxes team that is just at the moment just absolutely steamrolling at the moment. They seem like an unstoppable force, and at the moment Acquisition are not that immovable object to back them off. So as we go through, we're going to be going through to a payload map. Now we all have favorite payload maps, and I have to say goats on any of these payload maps would be ideal, but I can't exactly remember the map pool exactly for the goats tournament coming this weekend, but I imagine that the teams will be looking to play on one of those maps. I hope Havana is one of those, because I love Havana. However, I know that we could see Rialto, and was it Dorado? Probably Dorado. Dorado and Rialto, probably. Anyways, we're just gonna wait for a couple of minutes while we Acquisition gather their thoughts, have a bathroom break, grab some drinks, and yeah, got a shout out Sightlighter. Thank you for the follow. And Madge May. Down this Rhine, absolutely. Join. Oh, that's just General Huber showing off our beautiful chat commands. The Zen is insane. I agree. Lagoon. Oh, chef's kiss. Die Gurkstaven. Gurkstaven. I think that's it. My pronunciations are off today. I apologize. I haven't had a chance to look at the document. I can pronounce Boris. About it. To be fair, most of them aren't too bad. Frogs are ugly. There we go. Finally found out where the words start, and I didn't know. Raw Famalam. Nakti Quag. Sigurkstav. Asuna Sightlighter. I think I'll get there. And Dano, yes, obviously. You know, the real important player of the lobby. Looks like we're going to be going into Rialto. So another favourite for goats is Rialto. It's not quite on the precipice and the pedestal that King's Row finds itself on, but it's still reasonably high. Speaking of going through into Rialto, we saw some Ana played on this on Wednesday. I'd be interested to see if we're going to see anything similar coming out today, or whether it doesn't stick to the basic Rhine Zen goats. Personally, I wanted to see Paris, but I was outvoted on that one. Anyways, going through to the streets of Italy. And we're going to find ourselves sinking or swimming in the canals of Rialto. And which team's going to be swimming and which team's going to be sinking? Well, we're about to find out. As we see some lovely boats. Some pretty nice.
Attackers incoming in
Pretty nice lakes here. I don't see anyone sinking or swimming just yet. Find our way through. Anyways, here we are, coming in strong. It is going to be Team Acquisition out of the door, and they are not going to be sorry, it's going to be Foxes out of the door. They're not going to be messing around. They are going to play on the bridge, which is a little bit dangerous, but they're looking for the boots of their own. But gotta be careful. Nero is very strong character when it comes to finding boots, but Nero's been taken down. There's no chance of that now. Royal Famalam is in the back line, absolutely swinging for days. Finds a health pack to help sustain as well, and it's going to be Baby Diva slowing the car from moving. But another beautiful fight coming through. In fact, either that was absolutely humongous brain from Foxes to know that they were going to try and play for the boop and therefore punish the Lucio, or whether they just, you know, managed to sneak a headshot through because it was unexpected. I don't know. But what I do know is that this car is getting very close to the end of the checkpoint, and we're still waiting for a contested. There comes the rotation, and they weren't ready for the blank shatter again. Lagoon getting pinned to the wall is going to be sent back to spawn, and another beautiful fight by Foxes. Foxes are absolutely on fire right now. Beautiful positioning. They knew the rotations were coming through, and they got themselves up and close and personal with their good friends from Team Acquisition. Giving a nice friendly hammer as they find themselves up on the high ground. Going to try and fight for control now. This is where Team Acquisition have a little bit more of an advantage, is fighting for these sort of high grounds. And they're coming around. There you go. Nice fire strike coming through. There comes the grab on the defense, and Frog come through from the top ropes there. Gets the charge through from Quag, and look at the list of assists, and that's what you're used to seeing in Goats. Slam coming down from Raw Famalam, and that is going to be forcing out the beat, but it does mean that does sustain the team. Bomb is going to be there to remake. Try and get the remake. But actually, it was there for a remake, but actually found 2 kills at the same time. That is why full value. And Frogs Are Ugly is going in strong. Mighty Fish needs to be careful not to get caught out here. It is not. Does lose mech. Actually gets taken down as well here, so maybe a little bit of a misstep, getting caught out. Nachti again going in strong, gets that grab in early, but not able to find anything this time around. There comes a slam, and a beautiful block comes through, maybe a little bit hit and hope. There's the slam for the shatter. The bomb finds 2 regardless. And we find Foxes yet again finding themselves the second checkpoint. And this is a hard map to complete, a very hard map to fully cap. And Foxes are really showing how you can go about doing that. Team Acquisition, you know, this final point is a little bit harder. Raw Famalam is no mercy. They did not want Boris getting out with any charge left, and they did not allow that. And they're just going in so hard. They're going all the way to the spawn door. They don't want coming out. And it is very difficult to get this final cap without sort of doing those sort of storm door holds. Fish with the bomb. And use that for space. And there it is, coming in over the top. The slam comes down from the side, but it's not able to find anything. But it doesn't matter, the damage already done. Trans comes through. And the grab coming through is going to finish up this fight. And it is going to be a nice little silver lining. No, they got to defend 3 minutes. They've defended once and found Quag in a corner here. And both Ryan's now in the room. Beat comes out. They're playing this very aggressively far forward. Team Acquisition, they want to give themselves another fight. And they need to watch those back caps. But I don't think that's going to be possible for Foxes at the moment. They are going to try it backing out. Find their way all the way out. But they are going to struggle. Get out. They managed to do it. They're doing a really good job of the rotations here. And actually managed to take down Rob Amalam. And without Rob Amalam, that is a shatter to come through. You could see it coming a mile away. But so good Foxes. And they were able to get the bubbles up in time to defend against that. And now they're actually going to push against this. Pushing against this without their Rhine. Their Rhine's still not back in. Rob Amalam on the way in. But unfortunately gets back. But not quite in time. Fire Strike going to finish off. Frogs are ugly, but that is going to be it. Rofamalam makes that smart decision, goes all the way back. Nakti getting taken down by Lagoon, and that is going to be all that charge gone. You have to start again in terms of getting that damage up, but I have very little faith that that won't happen. And here you go again. Lagoon. Absolute machine on the Zenyatta here. Getting so much value with the Discord Orbs, but needs to be careful. Playing very, very aggressively here. The boop off the map on Frog. And that is going to be Foxes coming out of the spawn doors. And they're going to be moving up here, getting a lot of value. And that's a huge boop again onto Boris, making sure Boris does not escape with charge. And now they find themselves with the advantage again, Foxes. The car has moved a long way back during that hold. And Team Acquisition, they can be proud of that. A little bit of a slow start for them at this point, but they've really come alive right now. But they find themselves in a grab. The slam, though, coming through from Fox. It's a beautiful counter to that grab. Denies all the damage. And now they get a grab of their own. The bomb comes in over the top. And it's going to be a 3K with that. Beautiful placement of the bomb. And Foxes, they are in trouble. So a little bit of a calm in between micro storms, as it were. Literally just a little bit of peppering going on at the moment. Both teams just want to get a little bit of bolt charge going. Need to be aware of the shatters coming online. I'm already good there. There's the slam, blocked perfectly. You could argue they shattered a shield, but I'm sure that won't be what they argue back at home. Frogs are ugly. Throwing down the shatter, isn't able to find value directly out of the shatter, but is able to create enough space to push the rest of Foxes back to the spawn door. And this again, this is a round of two halves. First half, Foxes coming in very, very strong, getting the car all the way into pretty much the end of the map. But since then, Team Acquisition coming out as strong as they have ever been. And there is a touch coming through. Bomb comes in over the top. Isn't able to find anything. Does going to find a remech though, and that is going to be 6 strong again. Huge grab, and that's going to keep them off the point. No one's going to be able to touch the point. Diva manages to sneak through. Tran's going to keep Foxes alive. They're still going. They're still possible that they can find their way through here. They've got to find their way through this Trans first. The bash to deny the slam from Raw Famalam. Absolutely huge play from Melody. right there, and it's going to be back and forth for teams. The bomb comes through, and that's going to deny the current touchers from touching the point and seal a 2 instead of a 3 for Team Acquisition. We're going to go into Fox's defense.
Initiating match.
And Team Acquisition, the line has been drawn in the sand. They know how far they've got to push this cart. And they'll also be protecting their hubris. If they get a strong first and second point, maybe they won't play as aggressively as Foxes did up to spawn door and maybe get caught out. Got to maintain that concentration, even if you feel like you're steamrolling in the first couple of points. Got to keep up the focus because you never know what could happen. And Team Acquisition, they showed us what could happen. Absolutely beautiful play from them. Turn that map around, and off we go. We've got a game on our hands, and we're looking like we're going in for a quick break right now as well. Quick pause, waiting for the teams to get going. I suspect it'll be some kind of DC. And then we'll be getting back to going again. We will be just waiting for the reconnect. Yeah, so Frogs going for a drink. They like, Team Acquisition, they like their drinks. Been for a few drinks now. Frogs are, getting thirsty from all of those shatters coming down and through. Anyways, looks like we're going to be going back into the game. And we're going to find ourselves just waiting. Sort of get a feel for where they're going to be setting up, where they're going to be pushing out from. And there we go. You see it. We've seen it before, folks. We'll see it again. Team Acquisition. They're going to come out of a different spawn door to those that we expect. And the fatty fish going to go out the other door. And I think that's Boris unable to make the jump. Frogs are ugly just looking at Boris's corpse, just be like, I can't believe he's done this. Nero, though, with the boop onto Asuna, and that actually might be able to flip this fight, because Boris is going to come back straight away. And maybe it was all a bait. Maybe the Zarya taking an L there, baited Foxes into attacking, and falling straight into Nero's trap. And we find ourselves with Team Acquisition getting themselves pushing forwards. And they're getting a lot of value here, folks. Got that shatter online already. Raw Famalam getting very low, needs to be kept up here, and they know it here. They're going in hard on that Reinhardt, and the slam comes down. It is huge. Down comes the trans from both teams here. Lagoon going to keep their team alive. Both shatters unable to find anything, but Raw Famalam is going to find Melody, and without the break sustain, it's going to be tricky to get pushed forwards. But, managing to get out here and managing to maintain charge as well onto Boris. That is going to be crucial. Boris having all of that charge coming through to this next fight is going to be very, very key. I'm not going to have to wait for the damage ramp as much. Obviously, another change that hasn't been changed is the change to Zarya. Bubble. Charge reduction rate. Oh, beautiful grabs coming from both Zaryas here, but it is Quag with the bomb that's going to start turning this fight around. There's the slam. A huge bubble block coming in from Boris. And now Frogs able to get that for free. And a beautiful charge onto Sightlighter just as the trans ended. And that is going to be all for nothing though. As Fox is still able to seal out that fight. And we find ourselves moving through. And we're going to be going through to the next fight. And again, we find ourselves as Foxes really having a dominant showing on this first point of the map. But finding it tricky to get all the way to the end. And then on the defense, it's a strong defense, and that bomb is not such a strong bomb, but there it is. But Frogs are ugly, going to find themselves in a corner with Raw Famalam, and Raw Famalam actually able to get out, but the slam again is huge coming in from Frogs. But is it going to be able to find any value, as so much sustained pumped in there with the rally, and the team able to survive just long enough here, and Grab comes through, and that is actually going to be Team Acquisition with the advantage now, pushing on, trying to complete this first point. Trans comes out late, but that is going to help sustain Nachti, try and get out with the charge, but the Discord Orb forces them away. We're going to see the grab coming in from Nachti on this corner, trying to get some value, and it does find value. Quag coming in with a 4K from Quag and a T-Mech. Unbelievable performance from the D.Va, finding a lot of value there, and that is going to give Foxes the control of the payload just as we go through.
10 seconds.
And find themselves moving through. Here they are, finding themselves on this corner. Unable to touch the car is Frogs. It does manage to get that overtime ticket going down though, but there is no Reinhardt to stall out, and it is going to be Quag and the rest of Foxes just cleaning up here. And you know, Team Acquisition, they had a really good third point defense, but
Victory.
Foxes, they just show you why defending first point so well is so crucial. Because if you can defend first point as well as that, who cares if you're not very good at defending third? You know, if you can defend first as solidly as that, you don't need to practice the third. It's a bit like in football. If your team is so good, do you really need a defense? If you always just aggress and attack, full force coming out from Foxes. Anyway, going straight into Oasis. Not going to be in about too long this time. Frogs already got the drink in the last round. And we're going to find ourselves... ooh, I do like the bait. I do think this point on Oasis in particular might actually benefit from the Winston over the Rhine, just to be able to get down up to the high ground above point. So we might see Winston get picked by one of his teams, but we haven't seen Winston yet, so I'm not expecting any big things. Jessrel in chat asking if Foxes, you know, could be better than Alpha Centauri. Well, anybody else in chat want to give their opinion on that? I know Alpha Centauri fans will disagree, but from what we're seeing today from Foxes, it's a pretty scary concept to be playing against, to be honest with you. And I've got to say, Foxes, absolutely beautiful logo. Again, one of the A51 logos done by our artist Jin. If you want to find out more information about Jin and some of the other artwork, do check out our Discord. Also, obviously, you can get Foxes the Abyss merch. Anyways, more importantly, we're going to find both teams pushing for this high ground, and it is actually going to be Foxes that get there first with the advantage here. And the D.Vas fly around, but Quag finding value. Nero and Melody, it's the support line coming alive here on the side of Team Acquisition, and they look like going to be winning this first fight hands down. Asuna with the boop onto Lagoon as well, just to steal things off. Nero going for that kill as well, and Asuna gets another pick here. Asuna coming in strong. Pamela coming on to point, a strong hold on the objective, and you know, it's all well and good getting the kills here, but if you're not playing the objective, you're not playing the objective. And I'll tell you what, that Shatter is playing the objective, and that's going to put them all on the floor, and that is going to be another fight win for Team Acquisition. Beautifully played yet again. they're showing that they're not pushovers. You know, give them the right point, the right map, and they can really show how dominant they can be. Foxes need to gather themselves here. You know, maintain that team cohesion, staying together. Find a way through. They're going to find themselves caught in a beautiful grab from Boris. Nice hidden grab there, but the shatter gets blocked, and they're not able to follow that up. Shatter does come down from Frogs. Unable to find anything there. The beat coming out. The trans as well. The rallies. They're using all support ults, all damage ults here, but neither team losing a player until Frogs falls just now, and that could be the pick that Foxes were looking for to get their first control of the objective. Trans is going to get used out here by Lagoon, and this is to try and get this percentage as high as humanly possible while they've got control of the point. They want to get this up above 87%. That is the target. Can they get it to 87? Can they get it above 87? The answer is no. 85 is all that you can do. And the reason they want to get it to 87, ladies and gentlemen, is that is the time it will take for a fight. So it does mean that Team Aquisian now going to have to win 2 fights or get control of the point mid-fight and then win another fight. Grav comes in. I think he's just going to grab the brig, but it's going to be enough to actually get some value through as the mech gets taken down. Here comes the counter grab coming in from Boris, and there's a charge coming from Frogs, and that's going to be a huge amount. It is a lot going on in that room. The trans coming out as well, trying to sustain Foxes as much as possible, but it is Frogs so lucky, and the rest, Team Acquisition, that are finding the advantage in this fight as Rolf gets taken down, and now it's just going to be take them down as fast as humanly possible. Get that point flip on, try and get a full cap. Now, because it wasn't at 87%, this is going to give a chance to get a full team fight onto the car, onto the payload. But actually, some of these late picks coming through, the Divas demexed, that's going to make it very difficult to get themselves on the point. And they might not actually be able to get there. Not with the Grav. Grav is going to deny most of the team. They are split. They have a couple on the point here on this left-hand side. Raw Amalam gets taken down. Actually, Team Acquisition doing a really strong performance on this point in particular, and they're going to find themselves with a bomb to deal with as well. Down goes the Zarya, but gets the grab off first, and actually Fatty Fish getting caught up in that, but Nero and Boris finding the picks, and that's going to be Team Acquisition with control of the point and hitting 100% and getting that first point of the map on the board. They needed that after the last 2 maps. Really strong showing from them. They knew what they were doing.
Ready for battle.
Those little micro break seemed to get them going. We find ourselves going in to the final point, or the second point, sorry, of Oasis.
5, 4,
Gardens, I believe this is.
1. Round 2.
And find themselves. No, this is City Centre, isn't it? Last one was Gardens. But yeah, we're going to see Altair different strategies from both teams again, and we're going to again see Team Acquisition try and play for the advantage of the high ground and the corners, and really the advantage of the high ground really gives value to your Zen, really, but obviously you're going to have to drop down at some point, and that is what's happened. And you're going to find themselves taking control of the point. Lagoon taking down Asuna, and that is no speed boost now. And the slam coming down for Rafamalam, though, is going to flip the fight on its head. And Foxes are now the ones looking to be the advantage. And obviously, going to lose a couple of players in that fight. But because they got the win there, they can actually push up. And they should get the respawns back in time, especially with the speed boost from Asuna. Sort of taxi. Could be looking pretty strong here. Nachty already at a grab. Boris lagging behind here, only 50% to that next to their grab. And does look like we're going to see Foxes with a lot of ultimates have been out here. Frogs with the shatter. Could be big one. And it is a big one, absolutely massive. Forces out the trans. The beat comes out the stain through the grav. And they are able to hold on here a little bit. They're going to have that trans of their own here. And as they push on towards the point. Foxes, though, they don't want any of it. They're going to invest themselves. There comes the beat and the trans all in one go. And there's too much health. Too much sustain for just to deal with it. And they're just going to get themselves absolutely steamrolled off the point. And it is going to be Acquisition with control of the point. They cost them a lot, though. It did cost them a lot of resources to get that fight. They're going to go into this next fight with Bomb and perhaps Rally to use. They're going to have to defend against 5 ultimates from Foxes. So probably either looking to just dagger this one out, and a Lagoon gets taken down early by the bottom, and it's going to be down. And Najti find a valuable grab to follow this up. Fatfish does find a pick with the bomb, though. And that could be huge. Rally coming in from Melody helps sustain, but the Discord Orb isn't going to help take them down. And Fox is really looking strong on this point. Team Acquisition going to hold on to it as long as possible. Try and force out some more ults if they can, but it does not look like that is going to be the case. And you know, they are going to get that point flipped back at 50%. Both teams now sort of at 50% on the point control here. Raw Family, I'm going to push all the way up to this choke point just by spawn. Not all the way. Fatty Fish looking strong. Holding off, but again, Foxes 4 ultimates. We're gonna see. Are we gonna see the double support ultimate again? Because that worked for them last time, but then they had no sustain for the next fight. There is the double support ultimate into the grav, and the grav of their own here as well. And can they find the picks though? That's what they need. They need to find picks, but they found support ults of their opposition. Foxes using their own support ults and able to push all the way through. Bomb comes down. Fatty Fish does find one with the bomb, and that could just be enough to flip this fight in favor of Team Acquisition. They played it smart. They used a lot of ults, but they binned ults to try and get on this point. It was last fight due to the 99% that Fox's Abyss have managed to get up to, and now it's going to be a really interesting second point here. As they try and defend again, they find themselves then 2 ults to their name. But this time, Fox is also lagging behind, only having 2 ults. And the fact that they have that Transcendence, and they have the Shatter early, coming through big. But it is going to be the counter Shatter coming in from Rafamalan that's going to help find that kill with the Diva Bomb. And Fox is now the ones in advantage. Grab coming down, and there is no Trans available anymore to help sustain through that one. And that is going to be the fight flipped back over in favor of Foxes. And I don't think anyone's going to be able to touch from Team Acquisition. We're going to go to a third map of Oasis. Oasis Library, the one Brawl is played most on in modern time and historically as well.
Ready for battle.
There was a 3-minute stream delay, obviously, to stop the teams from sniping, stream sniping. We don't want anyone to know what compositions are being run by the others. You know, goats or goats. It's a tricky one. But do find ourselves pushing forwards, and again we're going to see varying styles. Again, Foxes go straight to the point, no messing about, and it's going to be Team Acquisition playing in from side room, but it's Raw Family finding a lot of value and already finding a pick. 61% to that ultimate already, and absolutely going in strong. Finds a Shatter, and that's going to seal the fight up. Raw Family absolutely on fire there. Only 60% on the ult charge for Frog. Sightlighter as well, absolutely killing it on the Zen there. 73% ult charge. It's going to be very difficult now for Team Aquisition to find their way through. They don't have any ultimates ready. They've got an ultimate or two to play into. Rally is going to get used early here. They're going to have to play smart here, Team Aquisition, but no, they're going in, and Lagoon getting booted off the map is definitely not going to help their cause. And again, another fight over in a flash here for Team Aquisition. But the important thing is, it was a quick fight. They managed to force out the rally. They managed to build up their ultimates. So they got that fight out of the way, and they're looking to be in the driving seat of this next fight. But they're gonna have to be quick in this next fight because a lot of ultimates are about to come online. They're gonna rally early. Gonna walk straight into a grab, and this is what we're talking about. It's all about getting those ultimates off first. In a lot of these cases, and again, Slam comes through, but doesn't find anything from Frogs, and it's going to be Rofamalam and Quag find the value with their Shatter Bomb combination. And that ultimate economy the Team Acquisition had is down the drain. They have a bomb and they have a trans, and that is it. They're going to be playing into 2 support ults. It's going to be very difficult to get through with just the Diva Bomb. Obviously the trans is more of a defensive ult. They might choose to use it aggressively here, but it does look like it's going to be a rally coming through to get the fight rolling nice and early. Trans gets used here from Lagoon. A lot of ults getting binned, and Fatty Fish finds 2 with the Diva Bomb. I said it wouldn't be easy to find, but yet again they find a beautiful placed Diva Bomb to get themselves going, and gonna cap that point at 99%. They have finally got control of the point. They need to watch their ultimate economy, make sure that they maintain positive economy, otherwise they will get steamrolled like we saw just moments ago when Foxes had control of the point. So can they manage to maintain the advantage? They're going to rally early, and I think this is the right play, but they've got to be careful not to get caught out here. They are going to be pushed all the way back. Frogs getting caught out, and that's exactly what you don't want to happen. Nakti with the grab ready to go as well, and that is going to go straight into all of them there. Beautiful grab. Tran's going to come out, keep most of them alive. Nero, unfortunately, unable to get to safety, and it's going to be Team Acquisition now very much just fighting for survival. There comes a slam. I don't think it's going to be enough from Frogs. They need something with it to get the damage in, to get those kills. There comes a charge, but it's perfectly blocked. Someone needs to touch the cart. They're doing a great job here. Team Acquisition are trying to hold on, but Foxes from Abyss, they've just got too much available to them in their arsenal. They've got the beat coming through as well, and now it's going to be impossible to touch the point with a perfectly placed grab. Foxes win yet another map. This map was looking very much like it could go in the favour of Team Acquisition, but Foxes, they weren't having any of it. Looks like we're going to be going to another hybrid map, potentially, but we'll find out. Absolutely, loads of goats scrims this week as teams have been practicing ready for the tournament. And that is a lot of the reason why A51 decided to share those codes nice and early, so that you can get the chance to practice on the game code before the tournament. We've had quite a lot of goat scrims this week. Can you get bored of goats? I don't know. I mean, we had goats for like nearly 2 years, and I think people did eventually get bored of it. But yeah, this week I don't think we've been able to get bored of goats just yet. We've got a tournament of it this weekend, so really excited to see more of the tournament style goats. Looks like we are just getting ourselves ready to go. It looks like Foxes are the ones holding up proceedings this time as Acquisition ready to go. And this is where someone in chat tells me I've been pronouncing their name wrong the entire time. And we all laugh and I cry about it. Yeah, it's a very strong performance from Team Foxes so far. 0 on the scoreboard for them. Yeah, really exciting times. Big R coming down now. And we're having a goat scrim right now, and we're not going to see King's Row. Who knows? I think these two teams, a little bit of a brain on them, have decided to do the other 2 payload maps as we go into Hollywood. These hybrid maps, there's only 3 in rotation for the tournament, I believe, and this one, Eichenwald and King's Row. Now the advantage of the 3 different maps and going for Eichenwald and this one is most teams have already played Scrim's Row Goats an awful lot already. And maybe these teams are aiming to practice the other maps, trying to get an advantage there. But it's going to be difficult for them. On perhaps King's Row in the tournament, we'll find out. They're going to have a trick up their sleeve when they pull out the wild card on their map choice and end up on Hollywood. They can use it to their advantage. Anyways, looks like we're going to be heading out of spawn door. It is going to be Foxes yet again on the right hand side.
5, 4,
in red, nice and easy to remember.
1.
And they're going to be attacking first, and we've seen their aggression before. And let's see if they're going to bring that one on yet again. I'm going to be careful. I'm going to play rotation. This is something new for Foxes. This scrim, actually playing rotations. And there you go. They were aware of it, Team Acquisition. They know these rotations. That's what they're here to practice. They've been doing all the rotations or scrim, and they've just shown how you do it. I've just had a request to shout out Melody as the GOAT of main support. So Melody, here's your shout out. Let's go to main support. And speaking of Melody, gonna rally, gonna push in, and gets the kill as well. Beautiful. Oh, and the slam comes down, but actually gonna come in and save the Zarya. Absolutely beautiful play from Melody actually there. Just stay on the Zarya. The last thing you want to lose is your Zarya. That's a lot of damage, and you got to recharge that. Also, not the most mobile hero to get back to the team. And those bubbles are very, very useful at keeping your Reinhardt alive. Without them, your Reinhardt's not going to last too long. And, you know, Foxes, though, they're going to have a lot of ults coming in online. There's the first one. There is the grab. The beat comes in. Not long to follow it. Ralloway coming down on the offense as well. They're going to have the Transcendence not long to follow if they need it. But the bomb finding Lagoon. Morris able to get down an offensive grab, but is unable to find any more value from that, and they find themselves getting backed up here. Team Acquisition. There comes a huge slam from Frogs. Are ugly, but it was an ugly follow-up from the team, and unfortunately, Frogs going to find themselves coming back out of spawn doors, and we find this little refuge in this door here, Team Acquisition, but they're going to find themselves in another grab. My goodness me, these grabs coming online so fast from both teams, but Foxes, they are just not having any of it. They're going in.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
Find ourselves going into second. Take the jump pad all the way up, hit the elevator, and they got to get themselves across the room. Foxes aren't used to. I'm not used to seeing them play these sort of high grounds They've been playing very much payload the entire scrim, but now they find themselves controlling this high ground and trying to get things moving. And the bomb going to go in over the top, and it's a beautifully placed bomb as well for a Sonero getting taken down. They're going to have to find themselves backing out fast as Lagoon finds a hammer to the face. And that cart going to get it moving. We'll get that cart all the way through. It's going to be another big fight here, and now both teams are going to be playing from the low ground. Obviously something you're used to seeing with goats. I was kind of expecting maybe a Winston goats to be used on this particular point, but it's not going to come through here, and they're going to drop down though. Grab gets eaten by Fatty Fish, and that's going to be a huge eat. That was the advantage that they needed here. Foxes, they don't really have any other ultimates apart from the support ultimates to get some damage through. Frogs, on the other hand, has a lot of charge of that shadow, lands it down, gets a big land. Famalam finds the counter shatter, and that is going to be Foxes getting all the way through. Second. And a little quiet before an impending storm. Never-ending rush of goats is going to ensue. The waves starting to rumble. Winds starting to howl. And then the thunderous lightning begins with the grab. Coming in from Nakti. And followed up by basically just unleashing all of the damage is humanly possible, as Fatty Fish getting taken down as well, and could be a reset. Be the last fight territory potentially here for Team Acquisition on their defense, but we've seen their defense on thirds before, and it has been very strong. Coming in. There is the nice bubble and alive, and the bomb comes through into the back line, but it's unable to find any connection there. Grab gets eaten yet again. Fatty Fish hungry for more in this particular point, and it is going to be Frogs are ugly with the pin over the top, and is really struggling to survive here, but Lagoon's Trans doing a great job of sustaining the main tank there, but it's going to be Foxes now finally able to seal the deal and keep going.
Score 0-3.
These two teams going at this so hard. It's hard to keep the energy up that these two teams have for each other. Absolutely insane. The charge rates on grabs, huge eats coming in from Fatty Fish. Is absolutely astounding to watch these two teams scrimmage each other. And you know, you watch something like this and you got to be thinking that these two teams have got to be, you know, some of the more favorited teams for the GOATS tournament, especially as they're getting plenty of practice in. Be finding themselves readying up, ready for their next round. This time going to be Foxes on defense. It's gonna be Team Acquisition attack. Now so far every single map that we've had a payload or hybrid, it's been very tricky, if not impossible, for Team Acquisition to get first point. So we're rooting for them to get the first point. They had a strong end to that otherwise a brutal offense by Foxes, and in they're going to be going, and again they're going to be trying to get the value in, and going to be down to these Rhines who can get that first shatter in the bag, and so far it's Rafamalam getting the advantage on the charge, but Frogs coming in clutch with a huge swing through. These juggernauts absolutely slamming into each other, and both Ryans at exactly the same amount of chance, but it's going to be Rafamalam that finds the first slam on the deck, and the first fight win comes with it. And so is the case with Goats and these teams. It's down to that first shatter, who can get it off, who can get the value out of it, as to who gets the first fight win. Boris, kind of control, taking control, trying to get that charge back up. It's going to take a while. Natchti gets the grab down, beautifully grabbed as well. A lot of value coming in. The Trans coming out on the defense. There comes the slam, comes down, but doesn't find anything. The rally is there from Foxes on the defense. The slam comes down from Frogs, and they're going to be aggressing on. They actually find a pick onto Rafamalam, and without their Rhine, they might actually be able to get themselves going here, as the charge on this shatter, almost up to another one. Oh, that was a beautiful flick of the Fire Strike as well to seal that charged shatter, and they managed to use a shatter and charge another one before Rafamalam could even get back to the fight. Absolutely beautiful play by Frogs. And they're going to be able to cap the second point as they deny the touch, and Foxes, they're going to be finding themselves the high ground, giving themselves the advantage. This is not something we're used to seeing from them from the other 4 games of the series, but something they are using a lot of on Hollywood is these high grounds to try and get control. It's going to be a lot of value for Tightlighter from these high grounds, and Rafamalam finding some nice fire strikes through. Lagoon is going to take down Tightlighter from a distance, and without your Zen, you have to back off the high ground. You got no reason to be up there, and they do. They have to back all the way across the bridge, and they're going to struggle to get Sightlighter back up there. So they need to be aware of that. And meanwhile, all this is going on. That car has just gone with no brakes whatsoever, continuously towards the second point objective. And Nero taking control of the high ground with a nice boot onto Nakashi, onto the low ground, and it's going to be Frogs taking control of this low ground with the hammer, and there is no escape for any member of Foxes here, as Frogs going to chase down even or Quag, and then the baby Diva as well. No staggering coming through, because the would be very risky to stagger there due to being that close to the spawn doors, but they are going to actually get the oh no, that's a really well played by Foxes to keep Sightlighter alive there, coming in from a bad spawn. But they won't manage to keep Sightlighter alive. Now they've got to play themselves back in and gain some ground. There comes the slam, beautifully blocked yet again by Rafamalam, and Frog's now got nothing in the arsenal. Needs to be able to block this. Grab coming down big from Nashti. There comes a slam, and that's going to find a direct kill onto Nero, and that is going to be a beautiful fight win from Foxes, and that's probably the first one of the round so far, besides the very first one. We've got 3 minutes 41 seconds, so we'll just cart to the end of the map, and they've got plenty of time to get this to the end, but they want to get the end with time on the clock, otherwise they won't get a second attack here. So Team Acquisition, they've got a lot of work to do still. There comes a slam, and that's a good way to start the work, as it forces out all 3 support ults on the side of Foxes, and now they're in a grab with no support ults, and that is gonna end poorly for them, as the hammer swings come through, and down go Foxes. They find themselves running back to spawn. They take down the Zarya as well, unable to get out with charge, so just trying to charge ult instead. And both teams now looking light on ultimates going into the next fight, and it's going to be down to Frog's Shatter versus Quag's Bomb. but Rofamalam also going to have a Shatter. So Shatter Bomb versus Shatter. I know which one I'd rather be, but Team Acquisition, they're going super aggressive, and the solo Shatter onto the Zen to make sure the Zen goes down. But both Zens get traded out here. Honey Fish on the back line taking down the Zen there, and Frog going to get absolutely disastrously destroyed there. Quag's bomb, beautiful. There was no escaping that for anybody. And that is going to be Fox's fight and Fox's payload. And going to see a lot of aggression going to be needed now from Team Acquisition to get a similar time to Fox's in this next push. They're really going to win this or the next fight to seal themselves a chance of a second attack. But they were playing slow. They're waiting for the rally, and then they're going to pop the rally of their own and then come in. Melody absolutely swilling as many hats as possible. It's a shame their name is Melody, because really they play percussion with the amount of hits they've been landing today. Then comes through, holding point, making it strong. And but that transcendence is going to be shared by Team Acquisition. There comes a slam. It's a big slam. The bunch comes in, but it's too little, too late. Unfortunately, Boris finding Skylighter, but Rofamalam finding Melody, and this is an even fight now. Team Acquisition, they're playing very, very well here. They got to get this through. 53 seconds. Try and get that cart to the end to at least give themselves a chance of a draw. Absolute millimeters from the end of the map, and they need to find those millimeters in this final push. 30 seconds left to give themselves a chance of a draw. They need to get this completed, otherwise I'm going to find it very difficult. Way through, they're going to push in, they're going to play it smart here. A grab comes in on this right hand side, is able to get it landed as well, and now comes in the follow-up as well. Huge follow-up coming through, damage coming in, but it's not going to be enough to get the cart to the end with time on the bank. But they are going to have a chance to get the cart to the end of the map to at least give themselves a chance of a draw. But beautiful play, and they are actually able to complete the map, and we will be going to a round 3, but a round 3 only. Due to it being a hybrid map, they will not get an attack because they did not have any time. So it's just Foxes. Got to get 33% on that first point to win the map, and they've got 1 minute and 50 seconds to do so. So nearly 2 minutes. In fact, due to it being a scrim, and not the actual full tournament, we are going to be going back to the lobby. We're going to find another hybrid map of Junkertown going on. It's not over yet, folks. What's it? 6th map now? Astounding performance. It's Junkertown. Everyone's favourite junkyard. And
Ready for battle.
Going to be down to which team can get the control here. I'm probably going to see some close holds. I'm going to go straight into a pause. So just hanging around a little bit to wait a little second. Due to it being a 6th map, I have decided to take a seat. Getting tired, you know, there's so much going on. This game is so exciting. The energy is leaving me. But I will fight out for you guys. in chat. So give me some encouragement as we wait for this pause to be over. And we are going to be chilling out nicely. We're not far away from that big 2K follower mark. Just going to put it out there. That big 2K. Twitch rounds up, so we only actually need 195 for it to display 2K. And we're at 1909. So, the same amount of follows we need to make affiliate, we need to get to 2K. So, if you're not already followed, maybe consider a follow. That's probably the worst sales pitch you ever heard, but there we are. There's a reason why I'm not in marketing or sales. We find ourselves in Junkertown. Everyone is ready. Lagoon needs to get to the actual defense fast. Poor Zen got a long way to go. Hopefully they'll taxi, but it doesn't look like they did. They're not going to hold close. I was expecting a close hold on this particular map. Oh no, they are close holding. Close holding from this right hand side. Playing room on the right side, but Foxes, they're not having any of it. Rafaman going straight in with a charge, gets taken down though, and Elodie will get taken down early this fight. Still winnable. I mean, the spawn advantage is going to be definitely in advantage of Foxes here, and they're going to get their Reinhardt out pretty quick. But up to that point, it's going to be, oh my goodness, Lagoon, who finds the picks and the values. Absolutely astounding performance from them. And again, the spawn doors are being held here by Team Aquisition, and you can expect to see this from both teams. Kind of holding this position. Strong here. Diva getting value from a top, and it is going to be Boris with the grab, ready to go. Shatter's ready to go from Frogs. Sam comes down, doesn't find anything though from Frogs, and is actually getting low. Gets taken down. The trans was not enough to sustain Frogs, and without their main tank, they are going to be finding it very difficult to get anywhere. They are going to find themselves without their own Reinhardt now, Foxes. But with the spawn advantage, they should be able to get things moving. Actually, also with the grab ready to go. And it's going to be a lot of ultimates online now for the team in red. The Foxes from the Abyss as they go into the mid part of the first point. And it's going to take a while for the ultimate economy to get rebalanced out. But Paddy Fish and Lagoon both nearing their ultimates. But it's going to be tricky for Team Aquisition to regain their ultimate advantage, and they already find themselves down. Lucio as Nero going down early on in this fight, and they just have to try and back out, play it safe. They're going to rely on the sustain of the Brig. They haven't got the speed boost, so they can't exactly escape either, but they are doing a great job. Buddy Fish with the E of the grab is going to be a huge turning point in this fight. Tran's going to come through the sustain. The bomb unable to find any value coming in from Quag, but the bomb from Paddy Fish is going to find Nashti. Beautifully played there. Raw Falamalam. Beautiful. Shatter, but no follow-up. That's the team already in the spawn doors. A little bit of help from the spawn doors. And Team Aquisition actually going to be able to acquire the point back in their control. Find ourselves pushing through. Bashing into each other yet again. Like two heavyweights. Grab just in the middle of nowhere there, coming in from Boris. Unable to find much value. The B horses out though from Asuna for Foxes. But it is going to be Team Acquisition, the current control of the cart. They're going to have trans from both teams here. There comes a shadow over the top, but it's going to be straight into a trans, however, Quag's bomb while they're all on the floor. And that shadow bomb combination that we're so familiar with, able to find all the kills necessary. And Team Acquisition did a really good job on the defense on that first point, but they are going to find themselves defending second. Teams going to get a bit of a feel for each other. Take a rotation down through right room, up onto high ground. And they weren't ready for them to come out there, really. But they are ready for them to be pushed all the way back down. Oh, and it's an absolutely beautiful fire strike coming through from Frog. And, you know, Quag really should be eating those. And losing both of your supports like that is not good. Even if you do have three, you know, in a GOATS composition, you need both of them. You need all three, really, to get the value that you need. In here. They're going to find themselves in a grab. There comes a grab on the flip side though. And it is going to be Frogs with the advantage of the shatters there. Team Acquisition get another nice hold. Beautifully played. They're playing really well on Junkertown. They really started to warm up, get into this.
60 seconds remaining.
Here comes the aggression from both teams. Natch2 finding the first pick onto Melody. And it is going to be Foxes now with the aggression. Fish out of mech is not able to find much there, and actually going to be fighting the Zen of Sightlighter, but you know, maybe Diva's hard to hit, but a boot to the face is a little bit easy to land. Coming through second point again, Foxes find themselves at the end of their time bank yet again, but it does look like they are going to be able to cap this. I don't think so. They are going to contest this. Frogs is going to come down, drop from the high heavens. Going to get a shatter through as well. There comes a counter shatter though to deny the grab, and unbelievable block coming in from Lagoon denying the charge, but it's still pretty even from both teams. It's crucial that they get this cart over the line here, Foxes, because the spawn advantage is just too big. They get the grab down, but is there anyone to get any value out of it? Yes, there is. Quag is there to get value out of it. They're going to find themselves in a hammer or two. Bomb's going to hold the cart, and that is going to seal the deal. There's Quag getting 2 kills with that. Being strong. Lagoon stalling out cart. They're going to be there with the brig of Melody. Sightlighter just going to use the trans, the body block. It's Lagoon still there, holding on. And they're going to come all the way back in here, Team Acquisition. They're holding it out. They're going in so hard and deep. Oh my goodness. The strength of the performance from Team Acquisition on this hold is a valiant one. But this isn't Valorant, this is Overwatch. And it doesn't matter. Being Valorant is not how you win the game, unfortunately. It is, you know, the respawns. Beautiful. It was a really valiant effort to hold that. Yeah, with spawn advantage, they managed to hold it for a long time, but some big ults coming in from Foxes did enable them to get through onto this third point now. 1 minute, 30 seconds. Dan comes down from Frogs Are Ugly, and it's an ugly mess in that corridor right now with a lot of ults getting used. Quag's bomb is the one that's going to really send the message with the 2K, but is now on the back foot yet again. Team Acquisition. Try and get the reset, try and remech. Does actually manage to get that remech, but how long they stay in mech is not very long. How long they stay in a grav is also not very long, but fortunately for them, I only found one. Fox is just absolutely everywhere. There's absolutely everything going on the screen right now, and it's so hard to follow what's going on, but it is going to be a pretty even fight. Both main tanks going down, but it is spawn advantage for Team Acquisition. They're going to have the ability to get people off the point here, but they are going to need to back out as the charge from Nachi is just melting through members of Team Acquisition. As if they made of butter, as Melody falling as well. Absolutely crazy. Slam comes down, but there's no Frog to be able to block it from that angle, but Frog gets blocked themselves here. And finally, progress from Foxes. They do look like they are on their way. The ceiling, the third point of this map, but they had to fight for it. They made them fight for it, but they got it.
Score 0-3. Switching sides.
Thank you for the follow.
Shading match.
That's Biggie Bar, Renegade, Crunch, and Alniets. Try and get that one. Anyway, looks like we're going to be going into another pause. We're going to be just chilling, relaxing, calm before the storm, before potentially the final round of the stream. As we played 5 maps already. Sorry, excuse me. So much energy required for solo cast goats. I forgot. Oh man, what I could do for a good old buddy or pal right now. Take over some of this play-by-play, but no, the game must go on. The stream must go on. As it were, 21 of you joining me on this venture, plus Dan, obviously. Dan waves to you all. As you know, Dan has lots of hands. You can do the camera work, and you can do the stream. You can do the scoreboard, and he can wave all at the same time. It's a lot of hands.
Ready for battle.
There we are. We find ourselves moving through.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Coming along. Just chilling through Junkertown. Nice little place. Home of the Junker Queen. Very nice pillar that we find ourselves in. Getting towards the end of the day. Oh, there you go. There's the wave from Dan appearing in chat.
Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
And let's see if that close hold is going to be a thing. It does look like it's not going to be as close of a hold. We're just going to play this corner, but it's very different, like where you hold when you're playing this sort of broad combination. Yeah, and it's aggression. It's aggression. Team Acquisition with the aggression. They're going to get the shatter up straight away. And they're going to follow up with the kills as well. And Team Acquisition steamrolling through Foxes here. Which is good to see, you know. It's nice to see them have such a strong showing on this map after being at 5-0 down. Ashing into each other yet again, and that shield is, you know, does its job, but will it do more? Probably. It doesn't block everything, but it does block those shatters coming in from before. And it's going to be Frogs now with a ready, but the grab coming in from Nachi. Chef's kiss. Seal the fight for Foxes, and they've got control of that corner. But we did see it like go all the way up to like the line here before Foxes were able to cap every point. It went to the line on every single point over time, pretty much as they crossed the line. And let's see if they can be a little bit better here. And they're getting split up quite nastily here. Team Acquisition. They want to play a little bit close together, try and avoid those bombs. They do not all avoid the bomb. The bomb from Fatfish is bigger though. It's like there's always a bigger fish, and Fatty Fish shows us who is that bigger fish with a bigger bomb. Come through. On the way. Spawn holding out strong in the corridor, and it's going to be not a flank shatter but a flank charge, it seems. Oh, and the shatter unable to come down. Maybe a little greedy there, but I don't think it's going to cost them too much. They do have the advantage in this fight, and we find the poor Lucio just getting absolutely slapped around by Melody. Flailing around, getting so much value, and we have the bomb online here for Fatty Fish. We saw a big one before, we're going to see another big one. In fact, I don't think we need it. They're going all the way through without needing the bomb. Oh, it's a huge charge from Rofamalam, actually forcing out the grab. Even then, Fire Strike is found, and Frogs gets taken out, and Foxes, they're on their way to aggress right onto the door here. Frogs with the shatter ready. Been trying to tease it in there. There's the bomb coming in from Fatty Fish as well. They might try for a pincer maneuver. Is it? No. Just gonna reset themselves on the high ground, put Fatty Fish on the cart to get cart progress. Quag with the bomb as well. Gonna send it straight down the corridor. Unable to find anyone. The Trans going in deep there, trying to keep Raw alive, and Raw is unable to stay alive in that corridor. And Froggy is also going to be struggling to stay alive as the charge comes through from Raw Famalam, and that's going to be another fight win for the Foxes, as Foxes making themselves known on this high ground. Something we're used to seeing. At the beginning of the map, beginning of the scrim, there's something they've definitely been picking up on off of Team Acquisition by the end of the map is playing these rotations. And this is a very hard rotation to get through, and that's a big combination of ults there. The charge coming through, the grab coming through, and a lot of all of the ults just getting dumped there. It's hard to count what's going on. Bomb comes through from Fatty Fish, and it's another Fatty. As it comes through, taking down 2, and the rest of the team follow in quick succession. It gives Team Acquisition a chance to grab hold of the choke points and the high grounds.
60 seconds remaining.
Then you have no mobility. Melody going in very deep there and actually forces Froggy to fall. As Froggy trying to keep that alive, but not gonna be the case. Royal Famalam now making themselves present on the high ground and with the shatter ready to go as well. Holding out for a hero is Boris.
30 seconds.
But heroes just don't exist in that moment. In a position, they know they need to win this fight. They want a chance of a map on the board. They need to get first pick of the fight though to do that, and doesn't look like it's going to be the case at the moment. Absolute binning of ults from both teams. Beat gets used. There's the grab coming through. Absolutely cluster of information for these players to have to deal with on the screen right now, and it does look like it's going to be Foxes dealing with that information just a little bit better, as well as the information provided by their colleagues as they delete every single member on Team Aquisition and seal themselves a 6-0 victory in this one. Congratulations, Foxes from the Abyss. I'm showing them. Confidence will be high after a 6-0 victory going into the games tomorrow. And here we find ourselves a brig play of the game, as one is used to seeing in the GOATS meta. But yeah, that unfortunately that will close off the stream. It's been a very, very long series, and yeah. Thank you all coming to view the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you managed to put up with my solo casting as best as possible. I know that I am not the most entertaining solo caster there is, and I know that it's always better to have a dual cast. In case you dislike one of the casters' voices, you can at least focus on the other one, etc, etc. And also you don't have me filling the entire screen. You only got me in a quarter of the screen instead, but there we are. Anyway, thank you all for supporting the stream by just watching it. If you want to support if I've won 4 Foxes in their quests, then check out Foxes merch available from our merch store. Just !merch in chat. Get you that link. And also, don't forget to check out the Discord. I don't know, General Hubert has been keen to plug the Discord in chat throughout the scrim, so huge shout out to General Hubert. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.
Oh god, that shatter! Oh my god! Everybody, bomb sent into the back room of the trans, they're not quick enough! Shatter to work with in face battle Centurion, both teams shatter!